Hello, y'all. I promised you I would film it whenever I decided to do some clean out here in my kitchen. I'm going to be rearranging my cabinets, pulling out things I don't use anymore, and just trying to get totally organized in a really good way that will make it more efficient in my kitchen. So I'll show you. I'm going to see if I can turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have cabinets that are just full of coffee mugs. Here's 3 levels of coffee mugs because we collect them when we travel. There's 2 more levels there, so that's 5 shelves of coffee mugs. Totally unnecessary. I've already pulled stuff out of my lower cabinets, and this is some of the items. You know, different sizes of crock pots, serving dishes. There's another crock pot. Just way too many bowls there. Here, up here, there's another shelf up here with coffee mugs. And then those are dishes that I don't even use those up there. I don't know why I'm hanging on to those. And then over here, whoa, look up hiding up here in the corner. There's some more coffee mugs. There's even one hiding right over here. And then over here in this cabinet, there's some on the top shelf and then some here. So got to do something about these coffee mugs. And then I've got an empty, this is where I pulled all the stuff out for the, that was up here on the cabinet. So I've got to figure out what's going to go there and how I'm going to arrange everything. I do have some items I pulled out that I already know I'm getting rid of. This is some sort of a Pampered Chef salad cutting bowl. I don't use it. This is a wok. I don't use the wok anymore because I usually use this pan up here, which is sort of shaped like a wok. And then this chocolate fountain was used one time. It's a pain to have to clean up if you're not using it very often, so I don't need that. And then I've got a Juice Man juicer because I was going to do one of the juice diets one time. So it's been sitting in the cabinet for a long time. Anyhow, I will, when I get going with it, I'll show you what all I'm going to do. But let me quickly show you. Down here in this hallway, which is right off the kitchen, there's a closet here that it's a total wreck. It's just a catch-all for everything. Started out it was linens, but like table linens, but now it's a little bit of everything. There's picture frames, there's wrapping supplies, there's candles, drink dispensers, ribbons. I did start putting some things in here already. There's a toaster, ice bucket, some jam that I made. And then here's all kinds of extra tablecloths. And I think Bob even has a gun back up in here. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, and it is going to get totally cleaned out, and I'm going to use it to put my items that that I don't use very often. That's what I'll be putting there. So anyhow, this just kind of gives you the big overall picture here of what I'm dealing with. So I will get back with you in just a little bit when I get started. Okay, so I've made a little bit of a head start. I have started pulling stuff out of the cabinets and starting to try to formulate in my mind how I want it arranged. I think I need to set some priorities, and so the cooking area, I need to have the things that I use for cooking closest to that area. Sort of like in an airplane, that's my cockpit, and I want things where I can reach them fairly quickly and easily. So things like my skillets and my boilers and my other pots and pans, I need those like in the drawers underneath the the burners. And then the cabinets that are on either side of that, that's when I'm putting things like appliances, like my blender. I don't use it super often, but you know, it's part of what I use when I'm cooking. So I'm putting things that are basically involved with the cooking in the lower section of the kitchen. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna have to turn it around. Hold on a minute. Okay, so like under here, I've already put another little crock pot that I use, the salad spinner, the vegetable steamer, blender, electric knife, little hand electric mixer, items like that. In the drawers that are underneath here, this is where I have the tops to my pots and pans, my strainers, my red pots that you've always seen sitting up on my stove. Now I can put them in the drawer because I made room for them. Yahoo. And then over here, in these cabinets, I've got my bakeware. Let me get these all open. These have always been such a pain, and they were stacked so haphazardly, I was afraid they were all going to break. But these are like my casserole dishes, all up under here. So all different sizes and shapes that I use. So, and then still have all of this that's up here. I'm going to figure a place. My mixing bowls and all that, I think, are going to be over in these cabinets over here. I've already put some iced tea pitchers, things like that over there. Still got to figure out about up here. This is where we keep our trays. We usually, quite frankly, we eat dinner on a tray over on the couch most evenings. But there's lots of trays and chopping blocks up there, so I think I'm going to wind up putting most of my chopping blocks there because I can just pull them down real quick as I need them. And then there'll be some things that I'll just basically get rid of. I've got too much of those little baskets up there. I don't know, I thought I was going to use them for a gift one time. But this right here, this is what I'm dealing with next. These are our everyday plates, and it's way too many for me and Bob, but you know, I have that many in case I do have a crowd, which I do at least once a month have a crowd here. And then these are the salad dishes. And then those bowls, some of them I use, some of them I don't. Those up there I almost never use. So I'm going to be rearranging all of that. And I'll get back with you in a few minutes. These are items that I pulled out of the cabinets I didn't mention before, but this is an extra normal size crock pot and then a gigantic crock pot. So I only use those like as backups. Here's some waterless cookware that Bob uses. I don't use it, so it's going to go in the area away from where I'm normally doing my cooking. So those will probably go in that hall closet, and I haven't gotten there yet to start pulling that out, but I will soon. Okay, so this is the solution so far. I put our everyday dishes here. The bowls that are Bob's favorites are back here. And he likes the big ones because he likes to fill them up with ice cream on Thursday nights. This is our little like condiment bowls that he puts condiments in with every meal. These are the salad plates that I like to eat dinner on. And then there's the bowls that go with them. And then I had a lot of extra of those bowls, so I put them way up here. And I had a huge platter that matches, so I put it at the back. So that sort of, you know, gives it a good feel now to me. It looks very organized and neat and tidy, and I hope I can keep it that way. Now I'll move on to the next area. Okay, so here's the deal. If you are like me, you hate pulling heavy things down out of the cabinet. I had these bowls right here, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and they stacked inside each other, which was nice. It was space saving. However, if I've got the space, I'd much rather have it where I can just reach for the one I want without having to dig through all of them and pull them all out. So I have spaced them out where I know that I will use them more readily now. I did the same thing with these 2 glass bowls up here. I never used them. They were always stacked inside each other. They're very heavy to pull out and deal with. So I feel good about that so far, and about how this is looking. Same thing with these 2 green bowls, this one and this one, that one stacked inside the other one. So, and there up at the very top is some extra of the ramekins that I had. I think I had bought a whole bunch of those during 2020 when we were having to do individual servings of everything. So I do have a group that comes once a month, and it's about 16 ladies, so it's good to have them. So anyhow, I'll get right back with you. Okay, I'm back, and I have been working in this little closet in the hallway. I put my tall vases up here, and I've got pots and pans I'm not using all the time in the kitchen. That were in the kitchen, I've put them in here. I've got extra candles over there. Got napkins down here. I'm about to put all these tablecloths that are down here on the floor. I'm going to be going through those and putting them in these containers, and just saving the ones that I need, and then I'll put the containers down in the bottom of this haul. And that there is some kind of Christmas wrapping stuff that I've had down there for years and never have used it, so I think I can safely say that's going to be leaving. Anyhow, I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, y'all, I wanted to show you the closet. I finished it, and it is looking great. Okay, again, up here at the top are my tall items. Then this is the shelf where I have extra dishes, the waffle iron. I've got the extra crock pots that I was going to bring in here, a little ice bucket, bowl that was too big to fit in any cabinets. All my candles are there. Then here are all the napkins and placemats. And I had this is a tiered cupcake rack that's all in that box. And there's that extra jam that I'd made. And then down here at the bottom, I have I've sorted through all those tablecloths, pulled out the ones I don't want, and put those in the giveaway pile. But then I sorted these, like these are lace tablecloths. These 2 boxes here are rectangular tablecloths, and these are plastic tablecloths, which I use quite often. And then those over there are some round tablecloths, huge round tablecloths for big parties. Like if I ever rent the round tables again, that's what I would use those for. I did it for my 75th birthday. I'll probably do it again for my 80th. And what I've done is I have labeled each one of these very carefully so that I know what's in there. And that way, there won't be any question as to where something needs to go. So now let's go back to the kitchen real quick. Let me show you. I will show you something funny, but it's not the kitchen stuff, but it's something I will be dealing with this week in a different video. But this is all the junk that came out of that hall closet. So all of these picture frames, I'm going to be going through and figuring out which ones I need to donate, which ones I could actually put some pictures in and display. And then here's the whole bunch of wrapping things that are here. So, and some extra baskets. Those, I'll decide which ones I'm going to keep and which ones might go back in that closet. anyhow, that just, you know, when you clean up one area, sometimes you mess up another one, but I'm getting there. So that will be a different video on getting rid of stuff like that. But I wanted to show you this real quick, a quick preview of the cabinets. Let me get them open. All right, so this is, okay, had not even shown you this before, but this used to be all real junky right in here. We've always had, these are, you know, these plug in here and it closes behind the doors, which is great. But this is, you know, stuff that Bob puts in the dog food at night. So he always is working right here in this area with the dog food. And those were all up in my cabinets wherever he could jam them. And so now it's all organized. And there's the bowls that I showed you before. And look, I have an empty shelf up there. I'm sure I will find something that can go up there and get out of my way. This is the other cabinet I had shown you before with the bowls. And so that's very nice and handy. And I did show you this. This has been working well for us. I did move some of these little red bowls up here because we only needed a couple at a time, and they were getting kind of wobbly, like not standing up good and straight, so I figured better just have two stacked on top of each other. This cabinet I have not gotten. I mean, these are spices and you know, things I use cooking all the time, so they got to be right here next to the stove. But up there, that's some more coffee mugs. And yes, those will be dealt with today, because look here, I bought these stacking shelves at Walmart, and they will fit nicely in my cabinets. I'd already done it on this one because I had a little short one. You see that little short one back there where I stacked those coffee mugs. This is a stacking thing I found here for the drink things that Bob likes to use, these insulated drink things. So that was real easy. So I've got two more shelves up here that I'll be putting those on. And then we have the same over here. And this shelf, this right here is coffee stuff that Bob makes coffee twice a day. And then there's all those. So those will be gone through, and we'll use these stacking shelves to get them organized and stacked nicely, and maybe even free up another shelf or two. And again, I'd showed you the ones down below. This is where the baking dishes are. I showed you before. Very nice. That's working great for me. And then the drawers. This is where, excuse me, the down in this drawer, it's got all my skillets, the crock pot I use on a regular basis, and my pressure cooker. All that's in that bottom drawer. And then the top drawer, I'd already shown you that. Let's see. I think I showed you this was the extra utensils and things that I use, and I put the little ones back up on the shelf, like little crock pots and the hand mixer sort of thing. And then this is actually, that back there is Mexican stuff. It was way too wide to fit in the normal shelves, so I wound up putting it up under here. We do eat Mexican at least once every week or so. And then this bowl, it goes with my dishes. Let me get this. It goes with my dishes, so I wanted to have it handy, but again, it wouldn't fit in these. I don't know if y'all use these either, like when you have corn on the cob with the little skewers. So for right now, I've got those in here, but those may wind up getting moved. Anyhow, that is pretty much it for now for redoing the kitchen. And I'm really happy with it so far. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. And I don't know if you can see me or not. Yeah. So I'm ending the video now, and I will go ahead and get it published. And then I will show you which ones, what we're going to do with the bedroom and the other areas as I get to them. Thanks. Love y'all.